I'm looking at a cartoon here, a delightful cartoon, Australian, the Australian cartoon in 1991. And this is, of course, a reference to your passive smoking case. And I'd really like to hear about that, because that, of course, your decision in that has had enormous ramifications ever since for the public's understanding about the dangers of passive smoking.
Well, but I thought it was a case where the tobacco industry just set out to obfuscate the issue and to crush the opposition. I mean, at one stage, I can't remember, they must have had 15 lawyers in court out from the States, and the medical evidence in the form of highly expert epidemiological reports was overwhelming. I mean, in fact, it was so overwhelming in respect, of course, comes back to me. Very small children, up to about 2 years of age, can be badly affected by tobacco smoke. Forget about lung cancer. But if you are a parent of a very young child, you should not smoke in near the child, which means you shouldn't smoke.
I think what I find really interesting about the passive smoking judgment is that, in a way, what really worked about that is, for the first time, people could see what it does to third parties. It's not just the damage to you, the individual. Yeah. You're right, inverted commas, to smoke if you want to and do damage to your own lungs if you want to. But being able to prove that the effect on third parties that it has. And I wondered, have you ever thought about whether a decision like that has ramifications or consequences for other areas where there's lots of contentiousness going on? Say, for example, about noise in apartments, for, the damage that noise might do, proving that living near a noisy group of people affects people's health. That's just a bit of conjecture.
Yes, but I think that would be accepted as being realistic, wouldn't it? I mean, I can remember in my days at the bar, I've fought many cases where noise affectation was a critical issue.
But not just simply under the old laws of nuisance. You could go further and say it affects people's health.
No, I honestly can't say it went that far. Can I tell you what I think is one of the funniest things happened to me all my time? That noise. I was appearing for the Sydney City Council who took proceedings against the proprietor of some premises, which was, so they said, being a nuisance up at King's Cross. It was in a residential area, and council's complaint was that people came to these premises all hours of the day and night, and that it was in fact a brothel, and it was very respectable. So we took proceedings alleging they were illegally using these premises, only entitled to be used as a residential area, and it was a brothel. So I was cross-examining the proprietor of this place, and I was feeling my way carefully, because I didn't want to put up a bald proposition that he was running a brothel. So I said to him, cross-examination went something like this. So I'm delighted in telling the story against myself. I said, do you live on the premises? No, I don't. There are a lot of women. Do a lot of women come to the premises? Yes, they do. At all hours of the day and night? Yes, they do. Do a lot of men come to the premises? All hours of the day and night? Yes, they do. A few more questions. I said, sir, I put it to you that place is a brothel. There was a deathly silence. He looked at me and said, I knew I'd seen your face before. It's the most disastrous cross-examination ever conducted, I think, particularly by me.
Did you go scarlet?
Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. However, there we go.
It's funny, you remind me of Philip Opas, who I interviewed before he died. He told me that he represented once a prostitute, a lady with a very large hat, he told me. And he was successful for her, and she said to him much later, unfortunately in front of everybody, she said, "Love, whenever you want it, it's on the house." He said he doesn't expect anyone to believe that he never took her up on that offer.
Yeah.